coming out of my experience with dealing with governments and the computer security industry, I got into encryption. I became an encryption engineer and ran a number of small companies and consultancies. And after a while, I viewed that the universe was hard enough to understand for human beings without going around encrypting it all the time. And that in some sense that was to make human life harder to understand. And while I understood, and even in fact come back, I suppose, to embrace that earlier philosophical position of mine, that in a computerized civilization, encryption is the fundamental building block of liberty. I think that is clear. Very interesting philosophically as to why that is so. So I then instead thought, well, I should really tackle trying to decrypt physical reality. That sounds mad, but that's what physicists do, right? We try and decrypt physical reality to understand time and space, the beginning and end of things. And after a while, I felt I had, although physics is very wide, but I felt I had a decent enough understanding that the extra time put in wouldn't produce a great deal more understanding. And so then I came back taking some of these concepts that have been developed in quantum mechanics about understanding flows of causality, how one thing causes another. And if you look at it to a particular interpretation through the flow of information, of how information from one thing that you're trying to measure goes on to cascade causality across others, and then eventually to the person looking at it. And so I thought why not take that concept, which can perhaps be described in the way that WikiLeaks uses it as causality amplification, some small amount of capital leading to a larger amount of information, leading to a cascade of effect, and try and put that into place to help understand human civilization. And while that's in some sense a very ambitious and impossible project, along the way to have some fun and achieve some important blows for justice, which is satisfying when you're doing it. It's very, very, very satisfying to see innocent people, for example, walk out of prison with one of our publications above their head, the key document used.